Some states, like Kentucky, have indexed their state gas tax to the price of wholesale fuel. In Kentucky, it is adjusted quarterly. For example, the tax was increased by 2.4 cents per gallon last July, but decreased by 1.5 cents per gallon on January 1st. Now let's explore how gas tax funds are spent and how decisions are made between road maintenance and new road construction.
Funding for transportation here in Indiana comes primarily from gas tax revenue. Currently, Hoosiers are paying 18.4 cents per gallon in federal gas tax, and then they're paying 18 cents per gallon on state fuel taxes as well.
If fewer people were on the road and they were on using bicycles or even vehicles that use less gas, like most of the vehicles these days, that is one of the reasons why the gas tax revenues have gone down, and that in turn affects the county budgets. With the requirements for more efficient vehicles, people driving less, using other forms of transit, it absolutely impacts the amount of money we have for the roads. That's the federal model right now of how we fund roads. That being said, if alternate forms of transportation were used, maybe the roads wouldn't take such a beating and wouldn't require as many repairs.
This dilemma is still being worked out. We can assume that less traffic on our roadways would require less maintenance and road expansion, but riding bikes, walking, and using public transportation doesn't appeal to everyone. So what is the most cost-effective plan to maintain our current infrastructure? Just how are our tax dollars being spent, and who decides?
INDOT has a pretty extensive asset management program. Okay, each district facility and our central location, we all have system assessment personnel who are very engaged in judging the condition of our roads, bridges, devices.
Well, the assessment team, what they do is they look at every type of project that needs to take place statewide, and they base and schedule our funding on the purpose and need of a job. So the most important projects, of course, are the first ones to be funded as the funding comes through. And they have really focused on ensuring that we're spending each and every taxpayer dollar as wisely as possible.
Any infrastructure that we have, whether it be roads, bridges, traffic control devices, whatever they may be, are installed new at some point in time, and then over a period of time we do have to maintain them to prolong that life as long as possible, keeping in mind that if you put off maintenance for too long, you can end up and cost yourself more money in the long run.
Some of the things that could happen if we were not properly maintaining our roads and bridges, we could have to close a road. Weight limits may have to be imposed on roads and bridges, which would divert traffic and cause them additional miles of travel.
For approximately every dollar we spend in preservation type work, we estimate that it saves us about $10 in reconstruction work over a period of time, and I'll equate it to putting a roof on your house. If you don't put a roof on your house at the appropriate time, that water and those elements get into your house, and it starts in the rafters, and it starts in your ceilings, and then before you know it, you've got a problem with the root base of your house. Similar situation with roads.
Bottom line is, as they deteriorate, if you get to the point where it needs total reconstruction, the costs do go up significantly.
Even though regular maintenance is much more cost-effective, some become impatient with the inconvenience of being held up in traffic or having to alter their route.
One of the things that we've done over the last year is to better explain some of our pavement preservation processes. More importantly, one that we see a lot here in Southwest Indiana is the chip seal process. A lot of misnomers about the process because it is a two-stage process where you have gravel that's applied on top of an oil-based substance, but it does have a second phase that comes in shortly after to finalize and cure the pavement. And once it's complete, it doesn't look much different than a typical resurfacing project that we do. So we created a cute little video to help educate the public about the process and what to expect. when our crews are in the area, the time span in between, and what they'll see when the project is complete, because it really is a great process, and again, another great preventative maintenance activity that we can do, and in the end it saves the taxpayer a lot of money, and we still continue to have a nice quality roadway.
Hey, got your coffee?
Oh, thanks.
What's wrong?
Oh, INDOT is chip sealing the road that I take to get just about everywhere.
Sounds like good news to me.
How do you figure? Now I have to deal with work zone delays, loose stone, dust, road noise, and the road wasn't even that bad to begin with.
Well, let's see. They're preserving the road, treating it before it deteriorates, so it'll last even longer. And these are pretty quick jobs. Did you check the INDOT Facebook page?
Yeah, they said it would only take one day.
See? If they repaved it, you'd be looking at weeks or even months, and a lot greater cost to us taxpayers. In fact, for every dollar that Indiana spends on pavement preservation, it saves as much as $10 in future rehab and replacement projects.
How did you know that?
I'm smart.
Okay, smarty pants. How about the loose stone? Do you love that too?
Well, the way that I see it, if you would slow down and not tailgate while they're working, the stones wouldn't be an issue. The crews will sweep them up when the job's done. Besides, you could always take another route while they're working. It's just one day.
Okay, fine. But the road will be much noisier to drive on when they're done.
That's just our old buddy friction. Come on, in the winter you'll be glad it's there when the snow and ice hits.
You have an answer for everything.
Yep. Hey, chip seal projects get a bum rap. Look at it as short-term inconvenience for long-term benefits.
I hate you.
Why? Because I'm right?
Yes. But I'll forgive you since you brought the coffee.
Oh, thank you.
We do have a fantastic customer service department that does a great job of fielding questions and complaints. We have several ways that we can contact them, so if motorists have questions or concerns, we do want to encourage them to let us know. You can reach us by calling 1-800-279-5758, and we'll be glad to look into any issue or concern you may have, and especially if you have potholes to report, please do let us know.
So we have to ask, would you rather reduce your driving or pay more in gas taxes to pay for increased road construction and maintenance?
I'd rather drive less because I think right now we pay too much in taxes as it is. And with all the work that's going around in here with all the roads, the more taxes we pay, the more money we're not going to have. So I'd probably rather just drive less.
Drive less.
And why is that?
Just because I paid enough taxes everywhere else.
Would you rather drive less or pay more in taxes for better roads?
Rather pay more in taxes for better roads.
Now, why is that?
Well, we don't really have a whole lot of sidewalks to walk from side of town to side of town, so it makes it harder to drive less. You know, I mean, I wouldn't walk on the Lloyd. So that's my reasoning.